Good morning, good morning. Do 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 do. Good morning to you. Welcome to a daily dose of joy, where we are choosing joy and we're leveraging neuroplasticity and applied neuroscience to do it by dosing our brain. Increasing the levels of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins by simple little 5-minute practices throughout our day, giving us that sensation of clarity, and calm, and joy. And that becomes our default state the more and more we dose our brain and change the neurotransmitter baseline that we've got going on. Good stuff. And today we're going to use the Slo-Mo Flow, little microdosing tool or game or practice. Hold it so lightly. This process is easy and fun way of transforming our lives. Oh, y'all, I can't tell you how much I enjoy just being in this moment. That once I sit down here with you with the intention of dosing my brain, it's like I often say, it's like a Pavlovian response. I immediately start relaxing, knowing that I'm about to use a microdosing tool. And I think some of y'all have heard that one of the ways I use the Slo-Mo Flow is to really, really slow down. So I'll be cooking in the kitchen or running up and down the stairs for something or brushing my teeth, and I will realize that I've got a little bit of, or, like a sense of pressure, a sense of rush. And that's not, I don't want to build momentum in that direction. So I'm like, oh, wait a minute. There's always plenty of time. Take a breath. And I'll actually slow down. And it may only be for 3 steps, but for 3 steps, sort of slow down, notice where I am and what I'm doing. Sort of orienting myself to the moment and being present. And I was flipping through a sweet book I have called An Altar in the World. And let's see, it's by Barbara Brown Taylor, An Altar in the World. I think my mom gave me this book. And I flipped to this section that talks about walking as a spiritual practice. And I thought I would share it with you guys because it describes this idea of orienting yourself, pausing, and noticing who you are, where you are, what you're doing. Like the 3 W's, who, what, where. You can even go why, when. Just orienting yourself. So as I have started often doing before Slo-Mo Flows, thought I'd read a little something to have some inspiration float through or help us all settle. And then we'll do our 5 minutes of silence and stillness together. Okay. So these are Barbara Brown Taylor's words. Not everyone is able to walk, but many are, which makes walking one of the easiest available spiritual practices. All it takes is a decision to walk with some awareness, both of who you are and what you are doing. Where you are going is not important, however counterintuitive that may seem. To detach the walking from the destination is in fact one of the best ways to recognize the altars you are passing right by all the time. I'm going to reread that sentence because it's so good. To detach the walking from the destination is in fact one of the best ways to recognize the altars you are passing right by all the time. Most of us spend so much time thinking about where we have been or where we're supposed to be going that we have a hard time recognizing where we actually are. When someone asks us where we want to be in our lives, the last thing that occurs to us is to look down at our feet and say, here, I guess, since this is where I am. Reread that one too. When someone asks us where we want to be in our lives, where we want to be, where do you want to be? We could look down at our feet and say, here, I guess, since this is where I am. So with that intention of being where we are in this moment, and letting ourselves see the good and the sweetness, or just allowing ourselves to notice where we are with no judgment or opinion about it. Whichever one of those feels easy, or play with either one. And let's sink into the stillness and silence together. Mhm.